I'm going to show you how to make a square knot, and this is an example of me having made a number of square knots, and the actual square knot that you're looking at is this little bit here. So you can see that on this row I've made 1, 2, 3 square knots, then on row number 2 I've made 2 square knots. So to start with, I'm going to make my first square knot, so I'm going to be making this one here. So I've got 4 cords. I'm going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take cord number 1 and place it in front of the other 3 cords. I take cord number 4 and place that one over cord number 1, and then I'm going to take cord 4 and I'm going to work that behind cords 2 and 3 and through this loop here. So that's the first half of the knot. So now we're going to make the second half of the square knot. Take cord number 4 and place it in front of cords 1 through to 3. Take cord number 1 in front of cord number 4 and take cord number 1 behind 2 and 3 and through this loop here. So let's pull that through. And we just tighten that there. And that is a first square knot made. I'm going to go on and I'm going to make a number of square knots on this first row. So I'm moving on to my second row now, and this is the row that I'm going to complete, and you can see here I've got 2 knots. I'm going to miss cords 1 and 2, take cords 3, 4, 5 and 6, and I'm going to make a square knot just as I did initially. A little tip is if these cords here are not looking right and not sitting right, just pull them a little bit. They'll move because these are the centre cords and they can just move up and down. I'm now going to show you how to make row 3. What I want you to look at here is this little bit here. You can see that on row 2 I haven't used cords 1 and 2. I've moved straight on to 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what's important on row 3 is that we get this tension right here on the 2 cords that haven't been used in the previous row. So we're going to be working with cords number 1 to 4, and we're going to make our first square knot. What's really a common mistake when you first start out with macrame is to pull these cords too tight like this. So can you see that your square knot goes really a little bit strange? So we're just going to take that tension off there, and we're just going to make sure that when we make our first square knot that these 2 cords are sitting nice and straight. So that's the first half of the square knot, and we're going to go ahead and do the second half. You can just readjust these 2 centre cords as you need, and we're just going to work across the row. You have the same problem here as well. So the temptation would be to go like that, and your square knot is going to look a little bit strange. But if we're just careful with the tension here, make sure that we've got our cords just running nice and straight, then you're going to have no problem with that tension. And that's the first 3 rows of square knots. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing out more videos, and thank you for joining us today.